Hello everyone, how are you all? I hope you all are doing well. I know you guys are a bit stressed और थोड़ा stress तो बनता है ना. Thank you for subscribing with you. And guys, don't give up because we are almost near to the finishing line. And we all know that we are strong enough to compete anyone and to complete the race. So be strong, be brave and don't give up. So, in a previous video, we discussed about section 1. I hope you all still remember everything from the previous video. And if you don't remember anything, you can rewatch the video. In this video, we are going to discuss about section 2, which is based on textual passage. So, the first question that arises in our mind is, what is textual passage? And what is the purpose of it in exam? Let me clear it. A textual passage is a section of written or printed text, usually connecting several sentences or paragraphs that conveys a particular idea, theme, or message. It may be a part of book, article, or any other type of written material. Textual passages are often used in academic and literacy contexts to analyze and interpret the meaning, structure, and style of writing work. They may also be used in journalism and other forms of non-fiction writing to provide information and context for a particular topic or event. In general, a textual passage is a self-contained unit of text that can be read and understood on its own, but also contribute to the overall meaning and coherence of the large work. Overall, the purpose of a textual passage is to communicate information, ideas, and perspective to a reader or audience. It is an essential component of written communication and plays a vital role in conveying message and understanding. Now, you must be thinking how reading is going to help me in future. Reading helps to develop higher level of focus and concentration. Through my experience, a well reader is a dangerous human. Reading habit help to strengthen memory retention skills. Reading is very helpful. अगर आप पढ़ोगे नहीं तो आपको कैसे पता चलेगा कि how are you going to make new sentences? How are you going to know that the sentence is correct that you are forming or the word you are using is the correct word and the meaning of it? जब हमें न्यू वर्ड मिलते हैं हम पहले उसे गूगल करते हैं और उसका मीनिंग जानते हैं राइट तो इसलिए रीडिंग इज द मोस्ट पावरफुल थिंग दैट वी हैव एंड वी शुड रीड एंड देयर आर लॉट मेनी पॉइंट्स हियर लेट मी एक्सप्लेन इट टू यू. It has been seen those who have read a lot are more confident as they are able to answer more questions asked. Helps in expanding vocabulary, enables you to express your views, feelings in a better way and vice versa. So I think this answer is enough for your questions. Now let's move on to section number 2. First, I will read a textual passage to you all. फिर हम उसके ऊपर based questions को solve करेंगे. So let's start it. The passage is, although the idea of protecting culture and natural heritage sites around the world began in the early 20th century, monument for its actual creation was not until the 1950s. In 1954, Egypt started plans to build the Aswan High Dam to collect and control water from the Nile River. The initial plan for the dam's construction would have flooded the valley containing the Abu Simbel temples and source of anti-Egyptian artifacts. To protect the temple and artifacts, UNESCO launched an international campaign in 1959 that called for the dismantling and movement of temple to higher ground. The project cost an estimate of $80 million. 40 million of which came from 50 different countries because of the project's success. UNESCO and the International Council of Monuments and Sites initiated a draft convention to create an international organization responsible for protecting cultural heritage. Shortage thereafter, in 1956, a White House conference in United States called for a World Heritage Trust to protect historical and cultural sites but to also protect the world's significant nature and scenic sites. Finally, in 1968, the International Union of Conservation of Nature developed similar goals and presented them at the United Nations Conference on Human Environment in Stockholm, Sweden in 1972. Following the presentation of these goals, the Convention concerning the protection of world culture and natural heritage was adopted by UNESCO's General Conference on November 16, 1972. Now, let's start with the questions. The question is, read the following passage and complete the given activities, and this carries 10 marks. A1 is, complete the given sentence by choosing the correct option. The first question is, the dash on monuments and sites inhabited a draft convention to create an international organization responsible for protecting cultural heritage. The options are A. International Peace Committee, B. International Council, C. International Health Committee, and D. World Heritage List. And the answer to this question is option B, that is International Council. If you have any doubt, please refer to paragraph number 1. The question number 2 is, the famous dam situated in Egypt on River Nile is A. Buzwa High Dam, B. Rizwa High Dam, C. Aswan High Dam, and D. Kalwa High Dam. And the answer of this question is C. Aswan High Dam. If you have any doubt regarding this answer, please refer to paragraph number 1. The third question is, the idea of protecting culture and natural heritage sites around the world began in early dash century. And the options are option number A 20th, B 19th, C 18th, and D is 15th. And the answer to this question is A 20th. If you have any doubt regarding this answer, please refer to paragraph number 1. The last question is, the project cost an estimated $80 million, $40 million of which came from different countries. And the option to this question is option number A 35, option B 55, option C 25, and option D 50. And the correct answer is option D 50. If you have any doubt regarding the answer, please refer paragraph number 1. Now let's move on to question A2. Complete the following information from the passage. Here we are given task and we have to write the reason why the task was begun. So the first task is, UNESCO launched an international campaign in 1959, and the reason is, the answer is to protect the temple and artifacts. The second task is, a White House conference in the United States called for a World Heritage Trust. And the answer is, the reason is to protect historic cultural sites and the world's significant natural and scenic sites. Means you can refer to para 1 and para 2. Now moving on to question A3, that is, pick out and write any 4 adjectives from the passage. And the answer is, the first adjective is historic, second adjective is cultural, third is ancient, and fourth is international. Now, let me explain it to you. Why are this word adjective? The first word is historic. This describes something that is related to history or has significant historical value. The second is cultural. This describes something that is related to culture or cultural significance. The third word is ancient. This describes something that is very old or dates back to ancient times. The fourth word is international. This describes something that involves or affects multiple countries or nations. These adjectives are important in providing more specific details and context about the subject being described. In this case, they help to convey the significance and scope of the topic being discussed. Now, let's move on to the question A4. Do as directed. The first question is, UNESCO and International Council on Monuments initiated a draft convention to create an international organization responsible for protecting cultural heritage. Use not only but also in the above sentence. The answer is, not only UNESCO but also International Council on Monuments initiated a draft convention to create an international organization responsible for protecting cultural heritage. The sentence UNESCO and International Council on Monument initiated a draft convention to create an international organization responsible for protecting cultural heritage can be restarted using not only but also in order to emphasize that both organizations were involved in the initiation. The phrase not only but also is a correlated conjunction that is used to connect two ideas, indicating that both are true or both are significant. In this case, it is used to show that both UNESCO and International Council on Monument were involving in creation of the draft convention. By using not only but also, the sentence becomes not only UNESCO but also International Council on Monument initiated a draft convention to create an international organization responsible for protecting cultural heritage. This highlights the involvement of both organizations in the initiative, making the sentence more clear and emphatic. The second question is, in 1968, the International Union of Conservation of Nature developed similar goals and presented them at United Nations Conference on Human Environment in Stockholm, Sweden in 1972. Identify whether the above sentence is simple, compound or complex. The answer is the above sentence is compound sentence. A compound sentence is a sentence that consists of two or more independent clauses that are joined together using coordinating conjunction such as and, or, but. In this sentence, there are two different independent clauses. The first one is, in 1968, the International Union for Conservation of Nature developed similar goals, and the second is, they presented them at the United Nations Conference on Human Environment in Stockholm, Sweden in 1972. These two independent clauses are joined together using the coordinating conjunction that is and. Therefore, this sentence is a compound sentence. Now, moving to the last question, that is A5. What measures will you adopt for the prevention of any historical sites? So here, this kind of questions you have to write it on your own. You have to use your own vocabulary and your own ideas here. But let me explain it to you. I am giving the answer here. We must protect historical sites. We should see that they are not in any danger due to pollution, tourism, uncontrolled urbanization, etc. Whenever we visit the site, we must maintain the cleanliness and purity of the place. We must obey whatever orders and guidelines are put in place by the authorities. We should motivate others to do so too. Prevention of historical sites is essential to protect our cultural heritage and to pass it on to the further generation. The measures that listed and effects in ensuring that historical sites are well preserved and well maintained. So guys, as you all know, we have seen that historical sites are being in danger because of tourism, pollution. As we see when we visit Taj Mahal in Agra, we know that people scribble their name on that monument, and because of pollution around the monument, the color of it is getting dull. We are the new generation and we have to preserve it for the next generation that they could also see the monument. So here we are taking a break. In our next video, we will continue the other questions. I would say never be afraid to try something new. Remember, amateur build the ark but professional build the Titanic. So students, try every new thing possible. Not now, because now your board examination are there. But after this, please try something new which is not in your comfort zone. Do things out of your comfort zone and you will see the difference. I hope this video was helpful and easy for you to understand. Make sure you go through the question paper and other PDFs you will access after subscription. If possible, print the PDF, keep it handy, start reading, learning and practicing. You have few days in your hand. I believe you are born to win, but to win, you must plan to win. Prepare to win and expect to win. So prepare to win and expect that you are going to succeed in this. I want to give you some tips that are: binge watch all the videos, keep notes, pen, notebook handy, read, write and practice the notes.